Namaskar, everyone. Namaskar, Guruji. Welcome to the second day of our global conference of 2024. And I'm so excited to see that all of you have joined our stream and you've joined us in person as well. So let's take a moment just to come into centering. Let's take a moment to come into our best self. Closing our eyes, and wherever you are, planting the feet firmly on the earth or the ground. Let's take a moment to focus on the breath, knowing that the breath can take us deeper and deeper into our consciousness space. Take a quick moment to observe the brow, observe the mind, and breathe into the brow to bring peace there. Let us remember that in this moment we are connected to a great field, the field of the Master. And we are all held and within that field. And let us come to the heart space, the space of togetherness. And let us find one another there. Let us take a moment for gratitude. Gratitude for the gift of this very present moment. Gratitude for the gift of life. Gratitude for the gift of each other, community as seekers. Gratitude to the masters of the light that hold us in their field. And gratitude to the divine, to that infinite self that we are a drop of. And let us breathe into the belly, breathe into the body. Sharing our gratitude for the gift of the body as well. Let us feel again the warmth of the body. Let us feel the earth beneath our feet. And with a peaceful mind, a loving heart, and a grounded, vital body, we'll open our morning today with the sacred sound of Om. Exhaling completely. Inhaling deeply. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you everyone for being with us once again. Today we're on the subject of self-transformation as a tool in our consciousness evolution. And for those of you who joined us yesterday, I'm going to do a bit of a recap as well. I don't know about you, but I left yesterday feeling so inspired. I couldn't help but reflect on the beauty of the play, imagining and understanding that lifetimes have brought me to this moment on my consciousness journey, that I am infinite consciousness in limitation, and that I'm working my way back home is how it feels. I'm working my way at lifting the veils and opening my being more and more to that which I really am. And so I couldn't get those thoughts out of my mind as I reflected yesterday. And I'm so grateful once again to be here with all of you in person and those of you who are joining in Zoom. You are my family and you are my community, and I'm so grateful for you. So yesterday we talked about consciousness evolution as our essential life purpose. We talked about that the play begins with our ego. We have a being in this play, and that the purpose of this play is to realize that we are infinite self. We are that consciousness, pure consciousness in limited form, and that spiritual awakening brings about that lifting of the veil so that we can remember who we are. We're in limited form, but freedom is our destiny. And that we live in a conscious universe that is meant for our evolution and that is meant for our freedom. That is our destiny, and the universe provides us with the perfect play. There's perfection in the play that allows us to evolve and allows us to come back to the place of freedom. And as I was reading last night, Guru ended yesterday's session, with the concept of tools and the idea that we've been given every tool that we need to be able to evolve in our consciousness. We're not helpless on this journey. We have incredible power amongst us. And I came across this quote that I thought was beautiful. We have consciousness and we have tools. We have the mind, the ego, the intellect, the experiences of the senses. We have the pranas. We have kundalini energy guiding us when it's awakened. We have so much support. We have so many tools in the human experience for evolving in the consciousness. That's our journey. It's uncovering our deepest self. And so once again, we are not powerless on this path. So we have what's called the Antakarana. We have the ahamkar. That's the ego, or the I, that owns the thinking. And I don't want to overcomplicate this enough that we get caught in the mind. The moment that we have a form and we're born into a body, we have an identity, and that's our ego. That's what's navigating the play around us in a physical form. But the real magic comes with the fact that we have the buddhi, we have an intellect, and we have a thinking mind that allows us to navigate this play through our senses. And so we have that gives us the ability to navigate the play around us, and gives us the ability to use wisdom in the path and wisdom on our journey to be able to think through and navigate our world to the point where we can start to open up to our infinite self. And our soul has powers. We have Shaktis, the three powers: Jnana Shakti, which is the power to learn and the power to know. We have Ichcha Shakti, which is the power of will and intention. And we have Kriya Shakti, which is the power to act. And those three powers allow us to be able, once again, to move throughout this play, learning as much as we can and setting the intention to evolve. So once awakened by a guide, by a master, once we have spiritual awakening, we can start to intentionally see how we use the powers that we have to be able to uncover our infinite self. Now, when we think about the tools that we have, there's one tool that I feel like is one of the most important tools for our transformation, and that is the power of the mind. Now, our mind is our primary area of intelligence. And the way that we use our mind, or the way that our mind is impacting our journey, can bring us great misery. And I'm sure we've all had experiences of that, being caught in a mind that can't stop thinking, being caught in a mind that is struggling to see the bigger play, being caught in a mind that's trapped in our own limited thinking and not open to navigating the play with wisdom around us. Our mind can also be our great joy. Once we start to reflect and really observe and witness how we're using our mind and where our mind is constantly trapped, it can bring us great joy when we start to bring peace to the mind, bring freedom to the mind, and bring openness to the mind. And then we have that power within our mental space of discrimination, vivek. And it's an important tool in this space because we have the power to discern what's happening around us. We have the power to see the play for what it is. And we have the power to then use what we're seeing and what we're observing for our growth and for our evolution. So having a strong mind that can have the power of focus, the power of peace, and the power of openness to be able to see the greater play is a tremendous power that we have. And so some of the key practices that are there in the mental space would be really observing the fluctuations of the mind. How can we observe what's happening in the mental space? How can we bring our mind into a greater space? How can we bring it into a space of silence so that we can hear the wisdom of the universe? And if we are awakened to the power of Kundalini Shakti, how can we quiet the mind to the point where we can feel her guidance, we can feel her intuition? Because our mind can be our greatest friend on that journey, or it can be our biggest block. And then how can we use tools like prana, use tools like breath, use tools like the mantra to be able to bring peace to our mind and to be able to allow us to truly feel that guidance of Kundalini within us, because she is guiding us to open those layers, to open up the bonds and the binds that hold us in contraction, that hold us in limitation. And so we have the tools for consciousness evolution, but how are we using them? And that is the goal of today's session. How are we actually using these tools? It's easy for me to say, hey, we have a mind, right? It's easy for me to say we have a body that's navigating the play. It's easy for me to say that, we have an observer that's within us, but how are we actually using that to open up our consciousness? And that is the goal of today's session and the goal of today's conversation that we're going to have. Because using the tools, what it looks like is really focusing on that self-observation. Can I see and observe how my mind is working? Can I see and observe how my emotions are blocking me from being able to access greater consciousness? Can I observe how my physical body, my nervous system, my vitality is not allowing me to be focused on my consciousness evolution? It's stopping me from being able to be my best self. Can we follow that guidance of Kundalini, and what does that actually look like when we're setting that intention to evolve, when we're setting that intention to want to grow in our consciousness? How are we following Kundalini's guidance? How are we accessing it? How are we connecting with it? And how are we listening to her as she guides the play in the perfect way? How can we see opportunities for growth outside of us? We're all in a play. We are all within a karmic play. We explored that so nicely yesterday. We are all in a karmic play, on a karmic stage that has been perfectly set for our evolution. And how are we using that as an opportunity to grow? Are we taking the time to reflect on it? Are we taking the time to look at our patterns? Are we taking the time to look at our relationships to see how they are helping us grow and evolve? How are we using the gift of the master, the gift of the guide? And how are we using the community that we have so beautifully here and in spaces all around the world? This is a global conference. You are joining from all over the world. We have communities. We have beautiful people around us, fellow seekers around us. We have that we can access to help boost our practice. How are we using these tools to actively navigate this path, this journey that we are on, whether we're conscious of it or not? We are on the journey of consciousness evolution, but because by the very fact that you are brought to this moment, means that you are aware that you're on a journey of consciousness evolution. Now, how are we actively engaging in that? And so some of the questions that we're gonna work with today are: how are you allowing Kundalini to drive our evolution? How are we utilizing the play around us for our growth? And how deep is our witnessing? And then how are we using those tools that we have? How are we using our intellect and our mind and our discrimination to be able to grow our consciousness? And how are we using the mental power that we have, the powers that we have of intention? Are we setting our desire? Are we holding our intention to grow in consciousness? Are we making this our focus? Or are we focused on everything else in the world but not giving priority to the fact that we want to grow in consciousness? And then how are we actually seeking the opportunities to do so? So that's where we are today. So with that, I'd like to hand you over to Guruji Sri Vasudeva, and I'm sure that we're going to have an excellent conversation. Thank you so much, everyone. Namaskar.
Namaskar, everyone. So Joe to have you today, and thank you very much, Rhea, for starting us off. Can you see that this moment, this very moment, that you are existing in a marvelous play? Now, as I listen to Shreya, you might be thinking that you're listening to somebody that's outside of you. But if you were to close your eyes and self-reflect when that is happening, you may realize that another part of you is speaking. And all those around you who you are privileged to meet, the challengers as well as the friends, they are all divine and part of your play. You have brought them into the play. You sit there and listen to me, wherever you are. And this body may seem to be speaking at a particular place in Trinidad and Tobago, sitting in a chair. But do you know that I'm speaking inside of you at the same time? Though you may not feel it, I feel it. I'm speaking inside of you. I know the depth of your silence. I know the depth of your noisy minds. I know when you are inattentive. Even if I close my eyes, I know. We have the power of omnipresence. We have the power to tap into a space within us that is one with the universe. And what we are speaking about today is not a subject that we put material on a board. It relates to each one of us. It's a journey. What is consciousness? We spoke to that yesterday. Consciousness is beingness, that you're a being, not just a human being. Human being means that you're living in a physical body, so you can feel it. That's human being. The consciousness of a creature, that makes you a human. But you're not human. You're in a human experience, and that needs to be distinguished between beingness and humanness. You are living in the body right now. We call it Jivan, a jiva, life, a creature, consciousness in a creature. When you are free of this consciousness while still in the creature, we call it Jivan Mukti, freedom whilst in the creature. What does that mean? That means you come to a place in your consciousness inside where you can begin to feel that you are not the body, but you are that power inside the body. Some of us related to that yesterday. That there is a power within you that you tap into to breathe, to eat, to move. It's not just chemistry because you put some food in the mouth, you get some calories, and that is what allows you to move. No. Some people could not eat and move swiftly. It's a power inside of you. And that power has knowledge, the power to know, the power to generate energies. It's called Icha. The power to know, Jnana, and the power to act, Kriya. These are the Shaktis you just spoke about. But do you realize that you are in this play using these Shaktis? Now, we tend to use it in ignorance. What about if we use it consciously? That's a big difference. You are ignorantly tapping into energy. You are ignorantly abusing energy because every negative thought in your mind is an abuse of the power of the mind. Every positive thought is an asset, builds your energy. So you are unconscious of the power that you can create. And this is quantum power. It's like when you're microwaving food and the food, You can fry the food there, or you can over-fry it, or you can burn it up, you can destroy its genetic nature. That's what you do when you're microwaving inside, with your mind, with your emotion, with your aggression, with your lack of consciousness. So you're indirectly destroying your life simply because you lack the consciousness. So this is about becoming more conscious of all that you are, the powers that you have, the possibilities that you have. So life is a journey in the consciousness realm. And the main player in this realm is what we call the ego. That's the main player, the ego. Are you conscious of your ego? Some of us act in and through the ego. Yeah, you make them angry. Oh, but I'm angry. How can you tell me not to be angry? They identify themselves in the anger. The anger is part of them. They become the anger. They become the lustful one who wants to mate excessively or eat excessively or pleasure themselves excessively or take all the psychedelic substances to falsely intoxicate the body and mind. How conscious are you of the ego that can really ruin you or can lift you from bondage? The ego, the player, that is the most important one that you need to be conscious of in the human experience, that you have an ego. Ego means the consciousness of self, I. Where is your ego placed? The ego perhaps is the most powerful tool that you have in the human experience. Not the mind by itself, the ego mind. The I thought. I want this, I have this, I am this. When we can tame that ego, and those are the possibilities we want to discuss today. When we can lift that ego from tamas, which is ignorance, or rajas, and tamas, which is being egotistic, selfish, driven by ignorance, that's rajas being driven by tamas. How can we change that and allow the ego to be driven by sattva? When we say tejas vinavadi tamas too, we are saying that may our knowledge, the ego thinking, be full of light, be full of goodness. You know, people think of sadhana as being something you sit down to practice in meditation or repeating a mantra. Yeah, these are the expressions of sadhana. But sadhana is how you treat with the ego in every moment. Whether you're in a relationship, whether you're in relationship means an interaction, or whether you're with your body, or whether you're with your activities. Sadhana really says every moment that the ego moves, acts, thinks. How are you into sadhana? Sadhana is not when you're just sitting and repeating Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Sadhana is how you treat with the neighbor, how you treat with a family member, how you treat with the body, how you treat with the thoughts, how you treat with the emotion. That's sadhana. So, as advanced members of the Blue Star, and I call all of you advanced because you've been living with me over time, how are you using your daily life? Because you live in a yuga, a cosmic period of ignorance and ego. That's what you're going to meet on the outside. That's what you're going to meet on the outside. Don't blame anyone for the ignorance and for the ego. It's a cosmic period. But the beauty of the cosmic period is that it can accelerate your growth. Why? Because of all the challenges. As you walk out of your door, you meet with a challenge. As you drive your car, you meet with that challenge. As you take care of your bodies, you meet with that challenge. As you go to work, you meet with that challenge. Where's the challenge? Not. Challenge is everywhere. So how are you arming yourself for the challenges of life? How are you placing the ego? How are you training the ego? You think a soldier can go to war or a musician can go to a performance without that kind of practice? The great Hatha Yogi, Iyengar, when he was asked for some advice, practice, practice, practice. Great advice. Great advice. What made him so great as a yogi? His constant personal practice. Constant personal practice. And if some of you were to read his life, his wife used to make sure that she gave him all the time to practice, as she did the needful that he would normally have to do. Practice. That's what made him great. If you look at his 75th year teaching Hatha Yoga, wow. Few of us will be able to do that. He lived admirably. His motto was practice. Sadhana, consciousness evolution, has to be seen as a moment-to-moment practice. That's why we say stay in the present moment. Learn to stay in this moment. Don't live in the past, it's gone. Don't live in the future, it's yet to be. The gift is being in the present. And you know, a present is a gift, right? So if you think of present and gift, you know that just being aware is an opportunity. If you look at yourself now, how vital are you? How did you use prana this morning? How did you breathe? And I've been telling people when they say, oh, I don't feel like breathing. Just push the air out first. Don't pull the air in first. Don't do that. The more you push out, the more you'll want to breathe in. And the moment you kickstart that breath is life. Breath is vigor. Breath is prana. Breath is life force. How many of you really breathe? You're sitting there with shadow breathing. You can make your brain so much more clearer, your nervous system so much stronger, your body so much more vital, just by slowly breathing. Just by being excited that you have the power to breathe. There are a lot of people who cannot breathe properly. They have asthma, they have breathing problems. But just to breathe is a gift. How do you look at that? If your heart is beating soundly and strongly, what a gift. If you have great digestive power, what a gift. All these things you can cultivate. And that is what sadhana is. It's being conscious. And it's striving to be the best you continuously. That's what we teach our youths. How to be the best you as they grow up. How to be more conscious. And that's what I want from the conversation this morning. What are the tools? The ego. The ego's mind. The ego's intellect. They're called Antakarana, internal tools. And you cannot become conscious of divinity outside of you unless you tap into the consciousness of divinity within you. And the journey of the divinity is the journey of the ego through chakras within you. Are you aware of the 7 chakras within you? Because if you're not aware, that's a whole dimension of your existence that you're not aware of. You're going to have conversations today. Is it about how much you think you know? Or is it about sharing experiences of how you are growing, honestly and humbly? Is it because you want to dominate the talking? Or do you want to listen and share from your heart? That's how conversations should be done. Do you want to talk from a noisy mind that is compulsively wanting to talk? Or are you talking from a space that is intuitive and silent within you? And when you meet together as a group, do you consider the group as a one energy, one mind, one heart? It becomes very exciting when we come into a group session and we can feel that one mind pervades, because when someone says something, the other one feels that they have a little part to add to that. And then when the other one said something, another one picks up another part to it. And soon there's a thread that moves along the entire group and everybody can feel it. And everybody, my God, this discussion is just happening. That is what I love conversations to be. And if you really come into a deeper consciousness of self, that is possible for all of us, we'll experience a lift from a greater power that moves all of us to speak and to listen. That's what I would like of you Blue Star members. Over the years, I've tried to teach that to every one of you who have been able to listen. Can we in this retreat practice it? Can we speak about the practices? Can we share about the practices with humility and love for each other and wanting each of us to grow, to become an organization that is full of light? That's the work of the Blue Star. So today we have the beautiful opportunity of talking about how we can grow in consciousness through using these personal tools that we have. I don't want to dominate the conversation. I simply want to call you to attention and to make you realize how important each moment is, each moment of this day, each moment of our lives. And to really use every opportunity available to us to grow in consciousness. Whether you're eating, are you conscious? Are you using that as sadhana, the way you eat, the way you talk, the way you walk, the way you move your body in energy? Are you conscious? Life becomes a play and a joy when you're continuously aware that you are God, you are divinity in human form, that you're a spiritual being in a human experience. So when I see your ego trying to flaunt itself, your ego becomes victim or victor or anything along the spectrum, I feel sorry. I say, oh my God. It would be so nice if they can go a little deeper and see the power that they have to light up any space, to make a difference, to be the change. I feel sorry that we are so ignorant, so limited in our consciousness, and we don't strive to be the best we are in every situation. And for those of you who are striving, I congratulate you. That's where we want to be. What we are going to discuss today is not foreign to you. You have heard it again and again. How conscious can you be of it in this moment? And how can you grow get another step in this moment? How can you grow just get another step? And for those of you who have been coming and spending time around me, I congratulate you, because then you are challenged to grow to your best. Yeah, I don't want to say more, but I want to extend the space now. And today we are doing great for time. I want to have a conversation, Sri and I, together with all of you. And I want all of you to feel that you are a panel, because we have no separate panel today. Not on this subject. This involves all of us. We are all the panel. How can we converse with each other? We all are the panel, and we all are the conference members. Isn't it exciting? The panel and the members of the conference are all one. Let's have divine fun, everybody. So Shreya, do you want to start off with anything?
I'm just going to extend it to everyone to take a moment, if you need to, and to reflect on the questions that have been asked, and when you are ready.
But shall we say that what arises in your mind from the conversation, listening to both you and myself, what arises in your mind that you feel that the universe wants all of us to hear? Can you suddenly become a little more conscious of what inside of you is trying to say when you listen to all of this. Because that might be a message we need to hear from the space. Can we all become one group and let the voice of the self arise from the group? Yeah? What do you think?
Sounds great.
Right, so let's go. So it can be here, or it can be out in the virtual space. What comes to mind as you listen to this? And don't restrict it. If there's an urge within you to speak from the heart, speak, because it might just be a thread that we can weave into the whole space.
I see we have Vishishta online.
Namaskar, Guruji. Speaking from the heart, your message from the last 10-15 minutes was so much speaking from the heart that it resonates with me very much. And it lifts me up. It makes me feel that there is not a difference between your mind and my mind.
Beautiful.
What helps me very much in sadhana most of the time is I try to remember a lot of times every day that what you told me in the 40 days, that God is within me and God is without me. And it helps me to be more humble and more to be more humble in the things I do.
Beautiful, Vashishta. I congratulate that you could resonate with the message, that you can feel it's your message, that you're hearing it inside of you and feeling that it is yourself that is speaking. That's beautiful.
That's right.
And then to speak this way, to vibrate with this one energy is beautiful. That is rippling through the group. So I like that.
Yes. Thank you so much, Guruji.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, so again, it's a call. Do you feel moved to speak? And be free, because don't restrict it, because then you restrict the process of the self, the energy. Don't restrict it. Yeah, Arti.
Namaskar Guruji, Namaskar everyone. Sorry for those who I have my back to. Guruji, what really struck me from both presentations this morning, you've talked about the power of the present moment many times, but it really struck me, particularly this morning, when you kind of challenged us, are we aware of where we are? Are we our best self in this moment? And I mean, I wasn't. I'm probably still not, because I was holding on to something in the past. And the blessing for me of being in this space is the opportunity in every moment. I'm not saying that I take it in every moment, but the opportunity in every moment of making choices, of making conscious choices of how I want to be. Do I want to stay stuck? And even if the stuckness is pulling me, can I still hold on to the desire for more?
Yeah, and that's beautiful, right? Holding on to desire for more, even though you may feel stuck. But that quality is a good one. Now, I know, you can stay right there, I know some of you may think to speak is ego, so you may not want to speak. But there is a good ego. So don't judge yourself and say, I don't want to speak because people will think that I have ego and I want to speak. No, you might be carrying the message of the divine. So how do you test it? By opening up yourself and speaking. When you speak, I will tell you whether you're speaking from the space that is necessary. So no, but I want all of you to be free to speak. Don't wait for the conversations in the afternoon to be in the small groups to speak. This is a small group comparatively. So you can come and speak. Feel free, because we speak about freedom. When you have that feeling that you want to share something from the heart, just raise your hand. Raise your hand and the magic happens, because when you stand to speak or sit and speak, you'll actually feel that something inside of you is pushing you. When you feel that, that's a greater sense of freedom, because you are co-creating with Kundalini. You're becoming her instrument. And that is a practice as well. How do you make yourself a conscious instrument of the Kundalini when placed in a situation like this? Yeah, so thank you, Arti. Yes, so we can still feel, okay, I am not perfect, but the fact that you desire to be perfect, you desire to be the best you, is admirable. So I congratulate you for that.
Thanks, Guruji. I was just going to say that normally I would judge the urge to speak, and you said be free, and I thought, okay, in this moment, I'm just allowing it. Thank you.
Spontaneity, beautiful, love it. Yeah. Jyoti, let's see how spontaneous you can be, how much in the moment you can be, and how much of a channel you can be. Floor is yours. Your name is Light.
Thank you, Guru. Thank you, Guru. I just felt when you said open up to the field, I had to raise my hands. There was nothing to stop that. And
Beautiful.
it's so beautiful that Fascista started. He was exactly what was coming out of him was what I wanted to say, because I feel so empowered, as if you are in me and I am in you.
Beautiful.
And my skin is, since you started to speak, warm and tintling, and there is so, I don't know, some kind of energy is taking over, and that's because of the resonation, and that we are all one in this beautiful field.
Absolutely.
And then Arti started to speak, and it's for me then to be, to move in the moment and to be with her in all what she is saying. And she said the most beautiful things. Just we are in the moment and we can make choices. The choices who are good for us in the moment. So, and that was empowering more, because the ego part had to wait, but I still felt more empowered door remaining centering.
Beautiful,
Centered.
lovely.
So it was to be sadhana experience to remain centered,
Exactly.
to hold on Fascista and hold on Arti and be all together.
Yes, absolutely. Beautiful, Jyoti. Keep it up. You're radiant. Keep it up. Yeah, so do you see the flow, how it happened there? And so Jyoti just showed the beautiful flow that took place, because she could resonate completely with Vasishtha and with Arti, and so the flow continues. So let's take Adidev Akshay. Stay in the flow. Mm-hmm.
Namaskar, everyone. Namaskar,
Namaskar.
Guru. No, how could I stay silent with this?
Absolutely, absolutely.
No, that's, it's part of the tools, I think, in, dealing with the world and being in the working world, right? Sometimes I feel hesitant to speak and speak up, because sometimes you feel out of the flow of the environment.
Yeah, but let me speak to that just a little bit, right? Because I have experienced that. I've been in the working world. And after this huge experience of freedom. And in the working world, of course, because I'm in the hearts of everyone, they may not know that. I can experience the field when I'm in a meeting, for example, and there are a lot of different people and they're fighting with each other. And but the knowing when to speak comes inside of me. And because I'm a good listener, I listen I listen to their hearts, I listen to their purpose, I listen to their intent. And sometimes I will know exactly when to come into the conversation because I'm listening, and I get a little bit of opening, and I come into the conversation, and I open myself that the divine will speak in and through me. So I come into that place inside that I don't feel like I'm doing this on my own. I feel this rush of energy to do it. And when I do it, the whole field becomes silent. And the words flow out of that space, and then it changes the space. It's in a workplace. People are not necessarily spiritual, but they listen. That's because people may not be termed spiritual, but innately they have a spiritual nature. And that makes a difference, and that is what I appeal to, their spiritual nature. So in the workplace, yes, you have to be very conscious, right? Because you never know how worldly people will behave, unpredictable. But if you come into your spiritual self and stay there, she will protect you. She'll protect you. Even if the wolves are there, she'll protect you.
That's magical. That's because it's allowing the divine to come in and not just protect, but allow for whatever space
Absolutely.
to be resonant with it and to move with it.
But that became an adventure to me because
That's
yeah.
Of course. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Adidev. Radhaji, let's have your voice, or Madhava, whichever one.
Well, well, this time it's me. This invitation of yours, it's so in one way it's an invitation, and I feel the love and the real invitation, and then again I also feel the hesitation. It's almost anxiety when I'm around you, when I hear your voice. All my problems are gone, right? So it's soothing, it's comforting, it's falling asleep, it's reassuring, everything. And then you challenge me to speak up, and then nothing happens. But this time, for whatever reason, I feel this. And I have that so many times when she is acting through me. I feel like a toddler, right? So. Get on your feet, go, and then push forward, right? And I'm looking backwards. Why me? And where am I going? And probably those are these biggest questions inside.
Yeah, but
me.
you know what is nice, Madhava?
What?
When you pick up that guitar and you put your finger on those strings, you speak.
Yeah, for sure.
You speak. And it's Vasudeva there.
Yeah.
Because they same energy. So I might use my voice to speak, but you use those fingers to speak. And I bow to that. It's the one self. One self.
You got
Absolutely, absolutely.
it in my
And I
house.
love that about you. And I hope that you can take a 5 minutes, maybe before we close the session, so John Radhaji can do a number with me. Let the string speak. Let the melody speak. And let the voice speak. Yeah? Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Suraviji. Thank you all for really bringing your voice forward. There are many voices of the Blue Star. Yeah.
Namaskar, Gurudev. Namaskar, everyone. I sort of challenged myself to jump in as well, because I know when the ego identifies with a pattern, we become that. And that's something I'm really working on and thinking about seriously. And know your ego, know yourself kind of thing, right? You sort of have to work with it. So I really wanted to jump in, be part of the conversation, and because I believe and I really connect with that sadhana is in each moment. And so whatever it is you're working on, the universe is bringing us opportunities to practice. And if we don't take it, then are we really doing sadhana? Or are we just kind of sitting back and waiting for the universe to, or something external to bring us to freedom? So anyway, I just wanted to share that because I really
But yeah, to take your point there, even if we wait for the universe to do it, the universe will do it. Because even if we sit on our butt and think, okay, let me wait for the universe to do something, she will do something. She'll kick you off your chair. Yeah, because she is in evolutionary mode. So she's always doing something in our play to challenge us.
Yeah.
Even if we do nothing, she will push us and make us do something. So when we can begin to recognize that she is constantly in our play, even if we think we're going the wrong way, she's still monitoring that. And at some point, she will challenge us to see that we're going the wrong way, maybe through pain. But she's constantly at play, whether we become a rogue or we become attentive. She's constantly at play because she is the master, as it were, of the karmic play. She's constantly responding to us through everything. If you eat the wrong food, you're going to get a stomachache. If you don't care of your gut, you're going to have problems. If you don't take care of hypertension, you're going to have problems. So she's always at play. If you don't make friends with your neighbor, you're going to have serious problems. So she's constantly present, responding to us through all those messages that we're going the wrong way. So when you open your eyes to see, even if you're sitting still and waiting for her to do something, she's going to do something. She's going to make you feel really bad for sitting down for so long. So she's always there. There's never better mother.
Yes. So it's better to be conscious and participating
Absolutely.
in
Absolutely.
a sattvic way, bringing life.
Absolutely. Be proactive. That's the easier way.
Thank
That's the happier way. That's the more productive way. Yeah. Because you're going to have to do it anyhow. Yeah. Thank you very much, Survey. Yeah. Draupadi ji.
Namaskar, Gurudev. Namaskar.
Namaskar.
everyone.
Namaskar to you.
I'm glad I'm being challenged to speak up as well. Well, I just wanted to say that this morning I have this great desire in me to make a shift from what I considered to be sadhana to what you've been telling us this morning. It's for conscious evolution, I need to see sadhana as a moment-to-moment practice. You know, my view of sadhana is, well, used to be, but I'm trying to get to where you are saying. It has to be in everything I do in each moment. See my eating, my walking, everything as sadhana, and not just those isolated and times when I would probably do Guru Gita or chant or meditate or puja or whatever. That is not really
Life becomes sadhana. Life becomes sadhana.
Life, and that has to be my practice.
Beautiful.
Remembering that at each moment, every little action is sadhana.
And
So
that's when we
thank you.
graduate as a disciple to come to a whole new level of sadhana.
Yeah.
When it becomes a moment-to-moment practice. Yeah.
That's
But
the challenge. See that.
yeah, but I want to say something, and this is to all of you, that you may think, okay, so we're going to discuss the chakras again. Or Guruji is speaking about the same subject again. But when you listen, each time you listen, if you open your mind, you might see a different dimension to it. So when you think you know it, you ask yourself, do I really know it? because there's yet a deeper meaning to it. So sometimes we speak about the same things, but in that moment you catch it like you never did before. The same chakra awareness becomes different. So that's why you need to persevere with staying with the subject until more and more dimensions of it are opened up. Until you begin to feel that every subject can take you into infinity. Every subject can open itself into a space that is beyond space. Every subject and any subject. So that's why, sometimes you think, okay, you're laboring in something spiritual, but no, stay with it. A new dimension may appear, especially when you talk to the guru or you talk to evolved souls. When you come into a conversation, something might shift in that conversation that you never saw before, based on the same subjects you have been discussing. So always look for the new and listen deeply, even though you're discussing the same thing over and over. A new dimension may come, and that's what I look for. Because staying in the present moment with something as though you never saw it before and you're seeing it for the first time, even a person, you might begin to pick up the microscopic changes that they may be making in their own lives that you will not even see. Oh my God, first time I hear you saying this. Because they're constantly working on themselves. That's why we need to see people and see things in the moment for what it is. No judgment, not in the past or the future, as we tend to do, but staying in the moment with them. Being present to the moment, to people, the situations, can be, wow, a tremendous experience of enlightenment, so to speak. Yeah. Thank you, Taupadi. Yeah. Jenny, Dr. Jenny Rouse.
Guruji.
Yes. Yes, Jenny.
Namaskar, everybody.
Namaskar to you.
You have me with happy tears in my eyes. I've just parked because I was on the road. So I parked. I say I have to park.
Yes.
Because this thing, let me put it as succinctly as possible. You
Yes.
said it, you could not have said it any better.
Yes.
Okay. After COVID, the vulnerable who were directly impacted were the elderly with comorbidities.
Yes.
So I recognize from that, I have to live to get as much as I can from my Guruji. Good. So at that very moment, I said, listen, you have to set a template to be the best version of you at every living moment.
Beautiful.
And the moment I made that mandate with myself, I was on the road again. There on the radio comes somebody talking about their wellness center, and it resonated. And I pulled aside on the road. I got the number. What I recognize Kundalini does, she disrupts. In other words, I'm going back home, I'm riding, and then I pull aside. She disrupts. She is like Saul into Paul. You just get some shot, and you just know innately that you have to act.
Yes.
And that was the same way when I was leaving home at 21, and I told my mother and father, I called them in a little meeting and said, well, y'all, I'm leaving home. And Daddy's first visceral reaction was, you have to be mad. And the tears just flowed. I wasn't making a sound. These tears flowed. And I went to my room and I said, you know, even though I wasn't ready, the apartment wasn't ready where I was going, I just know I have to leave by tomorrow.
Beautiful.
It is a sort of she gives you it's like an assignment.
Yeah.
That you have no recourse but to walk on water.
Yeah.
You don't know where you're going, heaven knows where you're going, but you just know you got to move.
Beautiful.
And that is what your talk that I was listening to while driving just now, that is what resonated in me. I was just going to be listening and not sure if where I will be going is noisy. But fast forward into where I am in the actual practice of it. Guruji, it is like the sadhana, the karmic play, everything becomes a playground.
Beautiful.
And it is like I am so in the moment that sometimes if somebody walks up to me, like if I'm in the mall or something, and they say, you know, I really want to speak with you. What are you doing on Saturday? I cannot tell her or him what I'm doing on Saturday. That's too far. Because I can only speak of where I am at that point.
Beautiful.
And I'm seeing it more and more. So it is not that I'm consciously saying, stay in the moment, stay. She pulls you there.
Beautiful.
You become the moment and
Yes.
all that goes with it. And as a result of which, all that I'm saying, it comes with a freedom of just knowing that I'm being carried. I don't have to study if I will have the resources, when it will come, one day the weather is adverse. None of that comes in the radar.
Yeah.
All I know is I am being carried, and as a result, that comes with a lightness of my gait, a lightness of feeling, and a freedom of all that dross that you have to be working through and working through, and the mind that's just going. So in the mix, the ego becomes almost quiet
Beautiful.
while you are in that space.
Yeah.
And I am listening to everybody, and everybody's contribution is resonating so
Absolutely.
in me,
Oneself.
like they're talking in me.
Absolutely.
You know, and these little happy tears, they're not running down, they're just in my eyes. And
Thank
I'm
you,
saying,
Jen.
oh man,
Thank you.
we have
Marvelous
it. We have it.
contribution.
Thanks to you.
Thank you. Appreciate
I
that.
have no alternative. There's no other alternative than what I'm doing.
Super.
None.
Super. Keep it up, Jen.
Blessings.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Namaskar. Oh, marvelous. Thank you very much. Dianiji Raluka, Dr. Raluka.
Namaskar, everyone. Namaskar, Guruji. I'm resonate with everyone, and I'm now in a space that this is my my challenge right now, because I've worked all the day. In Romania, it's evening, and I was so vocal all the day, speaking with everyone, and I was to the gym, and I was full of energy. And now I just opened my computer, and I'm here in this beautiful meeting, like in my living room, and I feel everyone. I feel the thoughts and all the words, and I feel the anxiety of Madhava and the enthusiasm of Jenny, and all the thoughts that Suravi presenting us, and everyone. But what I'm feeling right now is to stay quiet, to be quiet, just to support the field. And I don't know, I am tired of the day for all this day that I was outside in the world, or I'm feeling just home. So I want just to stay quiet and embrace everyone.
Beautiful.
And just enjoy all these beautiful feelings and the flow of the energy that come to me from everyone. So this is my question.
Well, it's not a question, it's a statement. It's beautiful, it's absolutely beautiful. You're resonating with the space, and it's exactly what I would like the space to be. We are in the field, we are in one field, speaking from oneself. Voices may be different, but we are speaking from oneself, one happy self, one radiant self, one brilliant self. And we are making sadhana in the moment. That's beautiful. That sadhana can be this beautiful. Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah, and just to say, if I may turn the dimension a little bit differently, because it's a journey through energy fields. So the Muladhara chakra, which is earth energy, through the sacral chakra, Swadhisthana, through the Manipura, fire power, through the heart energy, Anahata, and through the voice energy, and through the mental energy and awareness, and the super and the higher consciousness of the crown. We are all expressing in that. Can you feel the heart energy? Can you feel the grounded energy? Can you feel that we are all using chakras in expression, but in flowing expression, in dynamic expression, in harmonious expression? And that's the beauty of sadhana. That when we can use all the chakras in the light, growth will happen. It will continue to happen naturally and comfortably. So that's when the battlefield moves into a play. Yeah? Yeah. Faiz? Microphone is up here.
Namaskar, Guruji. Namaskar, everyone. Guruji, I am so happy what you said about talking, because I was a little bit hesitant, but what you said removed that hesitancy and that little bit of fear. But Guruji, when I have to do a talk, like at a Sai Baba center, and the moment I get up and say, I offer my pranams at the lotus feet of my beloved, immediately, Guruji, it is like I'm in a different dimension altogether. It is as if the ego phase just gets out of the way and the true self then manifests itself.
Beautiful.
And then after the talk finishes, I feel I've just come out like of a meditation.
Beautiful.
And what I'm striving to do now is that after the talk finishes and I start to interact with the devotees, I feel a lessening of that connection. So I try now to maintain that same connection as when I was talking, because I feel at that point in time, the connection was so strong with the divinity because there was no ego. So I try now in the interaction with everybody, as you said, to remain centered in the moment, radiating love and light.
That's
so
beautiful.
Thank
That's
you
beautiful.
so much.
That's perfect sadhana.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Guruji.
Thank you. And it just to show when you speak about the divine, that the grace flows, the grace of the Master. Yeah, thank you.
Namaskar. I was doubted to pick the mic up again. And I said, I think Diane from Romania has said it's so beautiful. And Brother Weiss was also...
Yeah, put the microphone a little bit mouth directed.
Oh, okay, yeah, thank you. And Brother Weiss is also said it's so beautiful, and I wanted to share that silence where I am in, and when I am especially in the hall here, every picture is not a picture for me. Every picture is love. Every picture is the energy who is flowing here. And I want to learn how I can take this, what I felt here, to take it to my room, or to take it outside, or to take it wherever I go.
You want to know that?
Yeah. I want to practice that, because
you want to practice that, that's good.
And I noticed yesterday when my tears are flowing of love, when I did the Arati, and I came outside and I came on the room again, it seems away. So I'm curious, how can I hold it?
No, but it's a journey, right?
Yeah.
So the more you practice, the more it becomes a lifestyle, the more it stays with you. So staying in the practice is very important. Doesn't matter how many times you fall off the wagon, come back into the practice, come back into the practice. And at some point, you'll fall off less and less.
And what also struck me is your remark of this morning was how when we become negative, it's abuse of the energy.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, so.
I like that. I like that you become aware of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, Pina G, so nice to see your hands. Yeah, thank you for taking the microphone. And just to say that I want to hear all the different voices, so those of you who feel moved to speak, don't hold back. I know that you are practicing, all of you are practicing the sadhana, and it's good to hear your voice, the many voices. Yeah, you cannot unmute, Pina?
No.
Oh, but yeah, I'm hearing you. No.
Unmute.
Right, I'm hearing you
yeah.
now. I'm hearing you now. Hold it right there.
Namaskar, Guruji,
Namaskar, my dear.
a beautiful Blue Star family too. I just wanted to share a deeper understanding that I had while you were speaking this morning. I felt like it was an invitation to continue to move away from, being unconscious, where the creature is doing what it wants and the ego is doing, not really very aware. So it occurred to me that, before I thought of all the tools like being a witness or paying attention to the breathing as separate, or, having a silent mind, I realized that they're not separate. When we use them all at once, like creating a very silent mind, expanded space, silent, witnessing, breathing, mantra, all of those at one time. And when we try to do this throughout the day, we are then in control of the creature and, over mastering the ego, being above the ego. And so to me, the connection that I made was these tools are not separate. You try to apply them all at once, and then you become more conscious, and it's beautiful and it's exciting, and you expand your space more and more, I guess. I just wanted
Absolutely.
to share.
Yeah, that's beautiful sadhana. Thank you for that. Thank you. Appreciate that voice, Pina. Yeah, Anna.
Namaskar.
Namaskar.
Guruji, namaskar, everybody. The funny thing is that I don't really know what to say because there's so much that I want to say. And everything that comes past, there is so much recognition and my whole heart hurts. It's as if it's bursting and it's not big enough. And breath is going, and then I thought at some moment, I'm just going to stay silent. And that felt so, I thought, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to speak, because it felt also like I want to speak, but what? What should I say? Everything I recognize and everything is happening and everything I'm doing or she's doing. And so all these energies, only thing I have to do is
do you know something, Anna? Your radiance is speaking. Your radiance is expressing. The beauty of your voice, we can feel it. We can feel her in your voice. And we can see her in your radiance. So you are radiating her. I do appreciate that. And it shows that you really, really are doing sadhana in your daily life.
I do, yes.
Yeah.
All the time.
So I deeply appreciate your presence and you bringing your voice to us and allowing us to see you. Yeah, thank you, Anna. Thank you. Continue.
Thank you, Guruji.
Yeah, Charles?
thank you all. And namaskar, everyone. Namaskar, Guruji. Um, so much things have already said, and it also resonates with me. And I am just there is a lot of not a lot. There's an enormous love in the space and the unity. And I am so very grateful for that that you share your teachings with us, and that everyone is together now, right now in this moment.
Oh, thank you so much, Charles. Appreciate that. Again, thank you for your voice. Thank you for your words. And yes, and thank you for appreciating the field. Yeah, thank you.
It's so beautiful.
It is, it absolutely is. And when you speak to that, I feel happy. Yeah. Thank you, Charles.
Thank you.
Yeah, Bhavani ji and Ramana ji.
Namaskar, Guruji.
Namaskar.
Everyone. So we had a challenge today because we're trying to get the hand up, and this is a new computer, and we had no idea. So it took us a little while, but here we are. And just wanted to share a little bit on when you were talking about what really related to me was sadhana in every moment. And I feel that I related with Sundari when she was speaking. And I just wanted to say that when we come to the ashram and we just open ourselves to the energy there, it's like a sphere. And it can really propel us in ways that we are unable to see. But this happened when I left the ashram in one of my longer stays there. And I noticed that the sadhana was happening in every moment for me. And it continues to grow. And with the daily practice, we keep boosting ourselves. But in the moment, it stays more with us. And continuing to come to the ashram, many things have happened, as you know, but the sadhana in every moment continues to be stable. And what I found is that the guidance comes, like you were saying, if you don't listen to the guidance, however, you'll be given a nice lesson. So the guidance is very important for us to listen to the guidance that comes in every moment as well while we're doing our sadhana, so that we can grow in it. So that's kind of what I wanted to share today.
That's beautiful. And again, this is a testament to Kundalini as a guide, right? Being in touch with Kundalini, being open to Kundalini, and to really listen to her inside. Yeah, but I'm glad that your sadhana is progressing into a moment-to-moment experience. Yeah. But I want to say, thank you. I want to see your computer showing you very brightly, and your radiance, you and Ramana, it shows. So it's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
As I have the opportunity now, Guru, I will talk. This is great. So inspiring this morning to listen to Shreya and yourself, inspiring the words when you said practice from K.S. Iyengar. It would just, resonate so powerfully. And just to share, since I've retired, and I mean, having my past before that, being in business and always busy with the kids and all that, these last 5 years after retirement, I've really plunged myself into that practice, that sadhana, that morning sadhana, the pranayama and the breathing and the yoga. But most, the greatest benefit is actually, and I know Survi said, we sit down and maybe not you're gonna wait for something. And you said you wait for that kick. When I sit down, I get the kicks because you can be in that space and so much is happening. So much happening powerfully within the chakras that all the clarity and the messages come. So when you step out, into the world. It's so fascinating now that she can guide you in every moment. And one of the greatest tools that you've given me, that awakening of using the chakras so powerfully, the lower chakras so powerfully. It grounds me into the world, and that has been a fantastic practice that I continue.
Yeah, deeply
And being at the
appreciate.
ashram with you is always a blessing, and I thank all my brothers and sisters for the inspiration this yesterday and this morning.
Yeah,
Thank you
thank you so much. And the thread of inspiration I'll take from Ramana, the beauty of the lower chakras. We tend to look down at the sacral and the root, but you would not realize how phenomenal these two chakras are. If you're rooted, you feel grounded to the earth, you feel more powerful, and then your power to smell fragrances is more powerful. That's the root chakra, to ground you. And for many of you, I see that you tend to burn yourself, your nervous field, simply because you don't ground. When I feel your energies, you're overheating the chakras, you're overheating the plexuses. But you don't realize that if you ground the excess energy, your plexuses will feel totally different. So when you ground in the root, it's of immense benefit. And when we lift weights or we do strength exercise, we tend to do a better grounding. But some of us, we don't do it. And it's extremely important to ground. When you stand, you need to feel rooted to the ground. And when you are really there and you breathe into the root, your smell will be stronger and better, more sensitive to smell. And the sacral chakra is a chakra of nourishment. If only we can see that, the reason why nature tries to provide the best nourishment in the sacral area so that we can reproduce and have the best children. So nature is already providing strength for the blood and bones in the sacral, and it gives us the appetite, the feeling of taste. So when you really work the sacral, if you really work the sacral in a yogic way, strengthen it, you will actually begin to feel that you enjoy food more, you enjoy tastes more, and your blood and your bones are stronger and better. So if we think that sacral is only meant for reproduction, it isn't. If you think it's only a pleasure center, it isn't. Nature creates a pleasure center, so we'll want to reproduce, otherwise none of us would exist. So nature made it a pleasure. But if we really honor the sacral, we'll see beyond the pleasure into the amount of nourishment it provides in the human experience. Nature tries to provide the best eggs and the seminal energy. And so we have to be grateful for nature for doing that, because for doing that we need good blood and we need good bone marrow strength. And so when you really work the sacral area, you're really working the bone marrow, and you're really working to get better blood, and you're really working the appetite. And in the Ayurveda, we call the energy that comes from the ojas, apara ojas, and the energy that comes from the heart that nourishes us, apara ojas. So this is beautiful. If only we can appreciate the beauty of the lower chakras. And then the firepower. When you work the belly, you have so much better digestive strength. You have more confidence in you. And it's a big nervous system that really nourishes you. It balances your energy. So when you're too much in the head, just open the belly. We have a vagus nerve that moves straight from the enteric system right up to the brain. We nourish the brain. We strengthen the brain through the second brain that is called the gut. So if only you can respect these lower chakras and use them. They are tools to be used and not abused and not to neglect. If only you can see the beauty of the lower centers, you'll realize that every chakra has a purpose. Every chakra has a purpose. And the more consciousness we build, the more we'll appreciate all these chakras. Yeah, the more we'll appreciate all these chakras. So, so it's 11:59, but I want to invite Radha and Madhava to take the opportunity here to just lead us into a little bit of a kirtan. There, are you up late, Radha? Ji? Right. Let the melody flow. Let the voice speak. Get to the microphone. Get into the microphone. Get closer to the microphone.
Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare Hey Narayana Vasudeva Hey Narayana Vasudeva Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare Hey Narayana Vasudeva Hey Narayana Vasudeva Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare Hey Narayana Vasudeva Hey Narayana Vasudeva Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare Hey Narayana Vasudeva Hey Narayana Vasudeva Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare
Thank you, Radhaji. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, Shreya, do you want to add anything to this that I may have missed, or we may have missed?
No. The conversation was absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much, everyone, for sharing of yourself. Guru, it reminds me of the quote that that you've said. I have it on the wall in our home because I love it so much. That when you make your world a place of worship, your life becomes a prayer.
Yeah.
And I've lived by that the world around me, sometimes I feel guilty because I'm not here with you. Sometimes I feel guilty because I'm not singing Guru Gita every morning and I'm not meditating every moment that I have. So I've taken it with me that may my life be that prayer.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, thank you everyone. It's been marvelous. Did I miss anything that we need to speak about before we do a little meditation this morning? Yeah. Suriti, do you want to add anything to this? How was this morning for you?
Namaskar Guruji, namaskar everyone. As always, a profound experience, and I found it interesting that I'm like, okay, I need to speak, and I couldn't find the hand to wave, so I'm like, okay, I'm not supposed to speak, and I wasn't really ready to, so universe took care of everything. I loved it. But what came to me too is when we had our first meeting with all the panel members, I watched, at first I was like, oh, I'm embarrassed. I watched my ego trying to be in charge. And at the end of it, I was like, that was fascinating. That was really interesting to see how this little thing in me wants to be noticed, wants to say things that are profound, but when it's not time, they aren't. And it's just a wonderful experience to try to let that go and to feel inside when you need to speak, when it's right. And like Jenny says, seeing when other people just say it perfectly. And I will say too, listening to the opening little meditation with Shreya, I was feeling my heart chakra start. And when she went to the belly, I'm like, oh yeah. It was such a great example of our connection with each other and everyone, and how everyone speaks with your energy and your power when they're in that space.
Beautiful. Beautiful, Suriti. What a wonderful addition. And say the universe gave you a voice to speak, even though you couldn't find the hand to raise. Yeah, Maheshji, do you want to say anything? Let's get a Hungarian voice. And then we take Arjuna Mircha. Yeah. Let's get a Hungarian voice. Mahesh. Yeah, can you? Yeah, say something.
Namaskar, everyone. It's so
Good to see
beautiful
you.
to tune into the field. And I was just wanted to say already at the beginning, but now it came through you that I have to speak, that Attila was here with us yesterday. I don't know if you see him. And we are very much connected through the music.
Beautiful.
And somehow your energy is playing through us as well.
Beautiful. Yes,
and it just
whenever I see that, I'm
moved
happy.
him here. So it's very beautiful. Yeah.
Vasudeva.
And now he is also very much coming into this Vasudeva energy.
Yeah. Vasudeva. Yeah, thank you very much, Maheshji. Arjuna, Mircha.
Thank you so much.
So let's take Professor Nitsa.
Yes, namaskar.
Namaskar.
I'm glad to hear you once again, the voice of the universe.
Yes.
And here is my voice. I want just to tell you that every day you are making my mind more and more clear.
Beautiful.
Because this is a new paradigm that normally should be learned in all the schools and high schools and colleges, because you spoke today very clear, not only today, that we are beings first, secondly, we are human beings, secondly, and third, we have a spiritual intelligence that is beyond human mind, emotional intelligence. So that is why all the time I am following you. I'm a very simple and humble student of you, because you are making the humans to change the paradigms, to show how is it possible to stop the ignorance and to go to the divine intellectual mind.
Beautiful.
So I have to thank you very much, and I have to thank all of you daily and nightly. And I'm so happy that part of you, I shall meet you once again in Holland.
Yes.
have you, and I'm watching you, smiling.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Nitsa.
I have to thank you.
Yeah. Shivaji, let's get another Hungarian voice.
Namaskar, Guru.
Namaskar.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Can you hear?
perfectly.
First of all, I want to thank you for this beautiful experience that we have. Thank you for that confidence that you helped me to have, not the urge to say anything, because it's much worth for me to part of this field, enjoy and enforce this field together. And the road is long to get here, to be empowered with your help, to be balanced with your help, to be wise, disciplined, and joyful.
I like that.
With
Be
your
wise, be disciplined, be joyful.
Yes. This combination of the confidence to stay silent, to stay participated, to stay active in heart,
Beautiful.
not judge, only enjoy all the people who was talking something unique, all the energy. Like I am a little dragon in the flower field. I enjoy the flowers, as you teach. A little wants to fly, but first enjoy the flowers.
Absolutely. Thank you, Shiva. Thank you,
I
Shivaji.
thank you.
Yeah. All right, so Ved, I'll give you the last say before we do a little meditation. Yeah, it's been nice having you this morning, son. Yeah. Speaker, maybe. Yeah. Good.
Namaskar. It has been interesting listening to everyone's experience of connecting with the field, how they are inspired, how we are inspired, and to feel and to observe how it comes in waves of this experience through each person, the intelligence expressing in different ways. I'm not sure that I have anything else to add.
No, you're part of the field, but I saw you so much in silence, so I know you were integrating with the field in the silence.
Yeah, I was observing and witnessing this experience
beautiful.
that is holding all of us.
Yeah, because that adds to the synergy of the space. Yeah, but thank you for your presence, son.
It's okay.
Yeah. Usha, would you like to say anything?
Well, this is my first experience in this conference, and it really is so enlightening listening to everybody's experience. And one thing that stuck with me, perhaps a very small thing, is the breathing. Breathing deeply and being conscious of it all of the time, working towards that.
Yeah.
That's all I
breath is
can
life.
say.
Thank you very much. And Usha is a retired lecturer at the university in mathematics. And she has really transformed her life through coming to satsangs and making a difference. And it's wonderful to see the changes that you have made in your life. I celebrate that. Yeah, so let's meditate for a few minutes, everybody. Thank you all for your contributions, your beautiful contributions, and we look forward to the breakout sessions in the afternoon. Of course, I'll be there with you again. But let's meditate before we close this session. I'm going to chant Om Namah Shivaya for a few minutes. Okay, so let's sit comfortably. Let's open the hearts and the minds to the one self, the one consciousness, the one space. Ooh, Om Shivaya. You chant now. Oh, 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 Namah. Oh, Namah Shivaya. Oh, oh, Namah Shivaya. Oh, oh, Namah Shivaya. Oh, oh, Namah Shivaya. Oh, oh, Namah Shivaya. Let us come into that quiet space. Just stay in that heart space, that nourishing space of the heart. And open up to the field. Become conscious of the breath. Remembering that breath is life. Move the breath in harmony, in rhythm, consciously. Experiencing the life force of the breath. Breath keeps you as a soul in the body. Glorify the breath. Be in gratitude for the breath. And if you wish, you can bring your favorite mantra, repeat it with the breath. And just be happy. Just be happy. Just be happy. You are divine. We are divine. We are divine. Just be happy. Let every breath be a breath of joy. Let every breath be a celebration of life. Delight in the breath. Let the mantra bring fragrance to your mind, strength to your mind. Delight in our oneness of being, that we are one in spirit. We are one family. Thank you, everyone. This brings us to the end of this session, and I look forward to seeing you in the afternoon. Shall we make it at 2? Now it's 12:30. It can be 2. Right? Anything that you would like to say about the afternoon?
For this afternoon, we are blessed enough to have Diane G, who will also be leading our group online virtually in Romanian. So anyone who felt shy to participate yesterday, please feel free to join us today and participate as well.
Yeah. Thank you. So we see you in the afternoon at 2 o'clock. Looking forward. Yeah? Namaskar, everybody.